Today we're going to be baking a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. So did you know that you can make a pumpkin pie out of any type of pumpkin there is, except a glass pumpkin, okay? Guess what? We do have a real pumpkin here, and this is called a pie pumpkin. Now, a real pumpkin, you can make a pumpkin pie with, but it won't taste as good. Our pie pumpkin is what you really want to go for. And to start off with, we have to prep it. So we need our cutting board right here. And we need a really sharp knife. So what you want to do is you just want to cut it down the middle. And then when you get to a good point, just split it open. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we just want to scoop the pie innards out and just get rid of them. You can keep the seeds if you want, bake them, and do something with those. They're really good. But just scoop this out. Once you've got your pie scooped out, what you're gonna do is put it in the microwave, bottom down, cut side down, and with some water, cover it up with a towel and run it for about 15 to 18 minutes. And then you'll be able to peel the skin off. Okay, and then once we get the skin off, we'll be able to pulp it. Gotten done with the microwave, we've microwaved the rind, we've pureed our pumpkin. You can see we have it right here like this. And it's in some cheesecloth right now because it's draining. And I've been draining this for a while now, and we want to get as much moisture out of our pumpkin puree as we can. And now we're going to get our bowl. Okay, so we have our puree right here, and we need about 1 3/4 cups, which is about 1 medium-sized pie pumpkin. And so we're going to take our puree mixture out of the cheesecloth. We're going to just dump it into our cup measure here, and hopefully we will have gotten 1 3/4 cups. And as you can see, a lot of the moisture's been drained out, and you really do want to get as much moisture in because we're going to be putting more moisture in it with milk and things like that. So, and here we're going to just make sure that we've got 1 3/4 cups, and it sure looks like we do. So we're just going to dump that right in here. So the next things we want to do is we want to be adding our spices. So our spices today are cinnamon, ginger, a little spice, cloves. So we're going to use a teaspoon of cinnamon. We use 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and then we have our cloves. And then you want to just stir it up a little bit, get it incorporated into our mixture here. Now, funny story. My son had never had a pumpkin pie before in his entire life. I went to make him a pumpkin pie. He went to eat it and he goes, "Oh, this tastes horrible. What's going on?" I got distracted. I forgot one of the main ingredients, and that's sugar. Make sure you put sugar in your pie. Today we're using brown sugar, and you want 3/4 cup brown sugar, and you want it packed down, okay? So we've got this packed already. We're just gonna knock that in here. And now we're just gonna mix this in. Now we add 2 eggs. They have to be at room temperature. Now you want to mix this up again. Now we want to just add a little pinch of salt, okay? Okay, now we need one more ingredient, and that's milk. So we're going to use 2% milk today. We have 1 cup of 2% milk. And we're just going to slowly pour it in and then incorporate it into our pie mixture. So a long time ago, my mom said to me, before I go away to college, I need to learn how to cook, I need to learn how to do the laundry, and I need to learn how to sew. So my mom made sure that I knew how to do all these things. So thank you, Mom, for teaching me how to cook and bake. So now we've got our ingredients already thoroughly mixed together, and we're just gonna set it off to the side right now. Okay, so now we're going to start off with 1 1/4 cups of flour. And we're gonna put 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I don't usually put that much in. I usually just put a pinch in. And then we need shortening. I use Crisco. I like to keep it chilled. It's 1/4 cup of shortening. And then you just dump that right in there. So we have our pie cutter right here. And now you're just gonna cut it in to your flour. And you wanna cut it until you get little pea sizes of flour. And now you need very cold water, and we need 5 tablespoons of water, and I always add an extra one, so 6. And then you're just gonna kind of mess with that dough. And if you don't see it coming together really well, then you want to add a little bit more water to it, to your mixture. But you don't want to put too much because you don't want the dough to get really lack of a better phrase, doughy. So you can see it's starting to stick to my fingers, starting to stick together. And now you're just gonna try and get it into a bowl. The key is not to play with it too much, because again, you are going to roll with it later here. So now, sometimes you can, once you've got it just like this, you can put it back in your refrigerator and let it get cold again. But today we're just going to roll it right straight out. Now we have to kind of prep our surface so that we can roll our pie out. So we need some flour for that. And we're just gonna take some flour and we're gonna sprinkle it over the countertop that we're using. Make sure you get your hands a little floury too, it'll help. And then make sure you rub your rolling pin with flour. So now we're gonna take our dough, so just kind of mat it down a little bit, just like this. And then when you're ready, you just wanna take the heel of your hands and then you just wanna gently roll back and forth, okay? Every once in a while, stop. Make sure the bottom part stays floured so your crust will come off when you're ready for it to come off. And then just gently roll back and forth until you get a nice round pattern. And we want enough dough for a 9-inch pie crust. So we're gonna be doing this for just a little longer until we get that crust the way we want it. Just bring the pie pan over. So I'm using my special pie pan from Vermont. I'm just gonna kind of set it right over the top and see where we are. And I think we're good there. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold it in half, move the pie crust here, or pie pan there. And now we're gonna move our pie crust into the pan and then we're just gonna fold it back over. And you may have to adjust it a little bit to get it just where you want it. As you can see, some of my pie crust fell apart. And you can see I've got a little gap right there. And I can fill that in by just pressing over just like this. I can do that all the way around. So now we've got some extra pie crust right here. You can take a knife or whatever you've got. Today I've got a little spatula right here. We're just gonna take this part off. So make sure it's nice and firm inside. And now you want to grab your custard. So now we're gonna grab our pumpkin custard and we are gonna pour that custard right into the pie. So let's make sure we get all this stuff out because we worked hard to get all that pumpkin out from that pie pumpkin. If you want, you can maybe fold over the crust just a little bit like this, like I'm doing right here. It's like a little pinching move. And I'm just gonna grab some of the crust and I'm gonna pinch it. You're gonna say, why is he doing that? Well, it gives a little nice rim to the pie crust. It looks a little decorative. And that's our pie. So our oven is already set for 425. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to the oven. Now we're gonna grab our pie carefully, move it over. So at 425, you want to bake that pie for 15 minutes. When the 15-minute timer goes off, we're gonna lower the temperature to 350 and it's gonna cook for another 40 minutes. Maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. You'll wanna test it. Hey everyone, pie turned out great, don't you think? I also baked a canned pie just to kind of give an idea of what it would look like. You can see the similarities here. One's made with evaporated milk, the canned pie. One's made with 2% milk, the real pie. This is my first time making a real pumpkin pie. I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you had a lot of fun too. So we're gonna taste test it here. I'm gonna invite my crew to come up and taste it. They've been awesome helping film this. And so what better way to reward them than giving them a chance to try it out. So come on up, guys. I just happen to have some plates right here.
Nice.
And we're gonna cut into this and see how it turns out. Consistency looks pretty good. So gentlemen, do you like whipped cream with your pie?
I do. Yes, please.
Well, what better way to celebrate our pumpkin pie with real whipped cream? So gentlemen, give it a test. Tell me which one you like the most. See?
That's a massive difference, actually.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
That's a lot better than the canned one.
Well, folks, I want to say thank you to these gentlemen here. And from FutureMaker Mobile Learning Lab, we really hope that you have an awesome Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe down below and hit the like button. Thank you, and very happy Thanksgiving to everybody.